June 17th, 2025, 2 days after the anniversary of the Summer Wells disappearance, of course, in 2021. I'll try to talk a little bit louder. I sounded like I was mumbling and low-talking in my last videos. I apologize for that, everybody. I'm getting used to this new mic. Now, yesterday, I was over in Andrew Hiltz's live chat, and I didn't know what he was reacting to. I'd assumed he watched a video and was reacting to it, but it wasn't until just a few minutes ago did I go and delve into and analyze the transcript from Josh over at the lab in his interview with Chris McDonough and somebody else. They were teasing and flirting. And to be honest with you, Andrew has a point. After I studied the transcript, I of course I analyzed it through Grok, and I got it to go and highlight any mention of Hunter in it. And let me read to you what it came back with. And I think I can understand what Andrew is so upset about. Now, I'm trying not to joke about it, because last night I was just in a trolley type mood, and I apologize to Andrew and his old lady, Alyssa, for, I guess, causing some confusion, because I had no idea about what they were talking about. I wasn't watching it at all. So I was just in there being a contrarian and asking him questions just to get him talking and explaining himself a little more. So I thought, well, that's a perfect opportunity to highlight for you people a little bit of entertainment, because Andrew gets so hot right now. And, you know, from his perspective, I completely understand why he's upset about it. And I'm going to read you the quotes from Chris McDonough, and I like Chris. You know, they hold this particular Little Crow case against Chris McDonough, and I guess rightfully so to a degree, because it shows how much Chris, in my opinion, he's directed by the department. Okay, so he knows where he can ask questions and things, and people aren't always perfect in those scenarios. And sometimes you're wrong. You don't get everything right. You know, I'm a bit more apologetic when it comes to that. I believe his name is Michael Crow. And Andrew demonstrates with a particular clip about a documentary who highlighted the family who were, whose rights were violated by Chris in this particular department. Now, this voice stress analyzer and all of this hoopla and all of this technology is never, ever perfect. Okay, it's always in development. It's a tool. But it's impressed upon the individual and this little boy in the time whose parents weren't around. And that's a clear violation. And in my opinion, they should have known a lot better. So Andrew, in this circumstance, sees a carbon copy example of him doing that as well, overstepping his bounds legally and impressing upon the public that this Hunter, his son, has all of these secrets. All of these secrets. And all of this hidden knowledge about what happened to Summer that particular day. And we know the problem with planting false memories, and my point here is that he is using terminology that's highly suggestive in a situation that's probably not. Like, here's where I tend to agree with Chris, but I don't agree with going in and being sneaky and trying to get information out of Hunter, who's has grown into be a bit of a manipulator himself in that sense. He was engaged in a lot of secretive activities, in my opinion, with Candace. Let me just read you this, though. Hold on. So I'm caught in between. Let me tell you, I'm here because I want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the comment section below before I get too far. What we're going to do is let me break this down for you as to what Josh and Chris were talking about. Maybe you can understand a little bit better. And then I'm going to show you what Andrew's response was, because it is fairly comedic. So, let me see. Where did I put this? So just to give you a brief overview for those of you out there who may not have ever heard of it before, the Summer Wells case in that situation, this conversation, meaning the transcript from the lab interviewing Chris McDonough, centers around the disappearance of Summer Wells, whom is a 5-year-old girl who vanished from her home in Hawkins County, Tennessee on June 15th, 2021. The discussion explores the circumstances of her disappearance, the lack of progress in the investigation, and the suspicions surrounding her family, particularly her parents, Don and Candace Wells. Well, it's Candace Bly, not Candace Wells, but the speakers express frustration with the lack of evidence, the absence of a body, and the challenges in prosecuting such cases without concrete proof. So I'll skip right ahead to mentions of Hunter. Hunter, presumably a family member, somebody close to the Wells family. Well, we know that's Andrew's father, or Andrew's son, and Alyssa's stepson in this circumstance. But Chris McDonough had interviewed Hunter early on in the case because he was with Summer Wells June 15th, 2021 at the swimming hole, drinking an alcoholic beverage and puffing on nicotine vapes with Candace Bly while they were waiting for Grandma's refill in her opiate addiction prescription for her sore knee, because remember, the boys were jumping all over her knee. Now, the speakers, meaning Chris and Josh, discussed the control Don and Candace Wells exert over the narrative surrounding Summer's disappearance, and suggest that Hunter, now 19, holds key information. That's possible. I mean, you can think that all you want, and you can define that however you want. He has all kinds of information that we would find interesting. Hunter has all kinds of memories with Summer that everybody would find interesting. Is that going to be evidence somehow? Yeah, to the right mind. So I think that's where they're coming from. But again, I think it's highly suggestive, and I can understand why Andrew here may be upset. So Chris says, what I just went through about Hunter, he's 19 now, and he's a keeper of secrets. And after tonight, they're going to try to get a hold of him. And we already know that. I already know that. And we'll hear about it for the next couple of days on the, those who would do harm. But the reality is, at some point, that young man is going to talk. And if he's going to sing like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and he's going to tell stories that everybody's going to say, holy cow. What does that mean? Chris believes Hunter possesses critical knowledge about Summer's disappearance and predicts that he will eventually reveal what he knows, potentially breaking the case open. He's influencing a bunch of laymen's in that sense over this interview. This is ridiculous. The phrase keeper of secrets suggests Hunter may have been present during or aware of events related to Summer's disappearance, but it's not yet fully disclosed them. Possibly due to family pressure or fear. His timestamp 3747. The speaker discusses inconsistencies in the family's behavior, particularly Candace's actions after Summer's disappearance. I'll take a quote. Sorry, I'm picking my nose. I've got like this little pimple right at the end of it. Chris says, and that's where I think Hunter is so significant, because Hunter heard it. And he was in the car. Hunter knows more than, in my personal opinion, than he's letting on. I mean, he was there all day. And he just so happens to get dropped. The thing that I'll never forget is Candace whipping around back downtown to go talk to Hunter after Summer is missing. For some reason, she thought it very important to go back and question Hunter. he's kind of all over the place there, but I think that's an interesting point too. He brings up an interesting point. Like, I mean, in my opinion, that was a way to influence, intimidate, if you will, Hunter into silence, as if, you know, you don't talk to cops. We don't talk about it here. Don't tell them anything else other than things that they ask you. Don't volunteer information, she probably said. So Chris highlights Hunter's presence during the day Summer disappeared and notes Candace's urgency to speak with him afterwards, suggesting she may have been concerned about what Hunter knew or might say. This raises suspicions of possible intimidation or coaching by Candace to control Hunter's narrative. So Josh's turn. Timestamp 38 minutes, 33 seconds. The Josh Meister expresses disappointment that Candace faced charges related to her interactions with Hunter, or hasn't faced charges, suggesting possible interference in the investigation. Quote was saying, Josh said, I was somewhat disappointed that Candace was never charged with anything related to that, because I felt as though that maybe she was possibly intimidating Hunter. Well, how are you supposed to prove that, Sunshine? Coaching him to say something, interfering. That's so stupid. Dude, you almost had it, right? No, the inappropriate shit that was going on was contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and you're a woman with kids in her 30s hanging around a 13, 14, 15-year-old. And buying them booze and smokes and sending each other lovey-dovey type messages. So Josh speculates that Candace's interaction with Hunter may have been an attempt to influence his statements to authorities, potentially obstructing the investigation. This reinforces the idea that Hunter's knowledge is significant and that the family members may have tried to suppress it. So 1 hour, 22 minutes, 24 seconds. The speakers discussed Don Wells' accusations against others, including a claim that someone named Andy was on the property, and reiterate Hunter's importance. Chris says, and that's why Hunter is so important. The analysis, this brief mention, reaffirms Chris's belief that Hunter holds critical information, tying back to earlier discussions about his potential to reveal the truth. So a little summary of Hunter's role in this particular discussion that got Andrew so worked up, and his wife. Hunter is portrayed as a key figure in the Summer Wells case. We know this. He was present on the day of her disappearance. The speakers believe he possesses unrevealed information describing him as a keeper of secrets, who may eventually disclose what he knows, potentially leading to significant development in the case. Candace's urgency to speak with Hunter after Summer's disappearance is seen as suspicious, with all suggestions of possible intimidation or coaching to align his story with the family's narrative. I think that's pretty... That would go at the very least. The speaker's focus on Hunter underscores the skepticism of the family's account and their belief that the truth lies within the household, particularly with those present at the time of the incident. The mentions of Hunter align with the speaker's broader theory that Summer's disappearance was not an external abduction, but likely involved foul play within the household. They cite Don Wells' criminal history, including allegations of SA, and the family's inconsistent behavior as evidence supporting this view. The discussion of Hunter reflects the speaker's frustration with the lack of progress in the investigation, and their belief that key witnesses like Hunter have not been fully forthcoming, possibly due to family dynamics or fear. The Cold Case Foundation potential involvement is mentioned as a resource that could pressure witnesses like Hunter to share what they know, but the lack of invitation from the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department or the family hinders that possibility. Shameless plug by Chris. So I think you get the gist of it. Let's go see what Andrew has to say here.
When you've missed other things.
I can reach out to the young man and have a nice, well, the,
Detective McDonough, who has a son, Mike, cheaper and easy, before giving the truth.
Did you take? Okay, now it's my turn to dig into yours. You're not a cop. Stop acting like it. Okay, by legal law, I'll have links to these down below, by the way. Telling a parent their child's in being looking after by a foster care or CPS, DSS, any child protective service agent, just to sneak them down to an interrogation room to conversate with them without their parents or their lawyers present is illegal. And now Mr. McDonough thinks just because Hunter's 19, he's got all rights to do what he wants. Wrong. By legal law, in most states, the parent is still responsible for the child until they're 21 or 25 years of age, debating on which state you live in. So as long as that boy is still under my reign, nobody's touching him. Nobody's going to find him.
And if the TBI wanted to talk to him, they know where he is.
And the TBI only talked to him once.
If they needed to speak to him again, they fucking would. So
exactly.
People on YouTube need to stop.
So
Stop
you want to
like
dig?
Cops when you ain't.
You want to dig into my world? Okay. Now it's my turn to dig into yours.
Oh,
You're
boy.
not a cop. Stop acting like it.
Andrew's going to get nasty with Chris McDonough. I can understand why he's upset.
Okay, you're not. You lost your badge due to one Michael Crow because of your antics. And you think I'm going to allow my son around you? I'm not his mother. I'm his father. You got a whole nother fucking world to worry about, buddy.
All right.
Beg, plead, offer any amount of money you think that boy would want, or I'd want. It ain't happening either way. I'm not his mother. I'm not a fucking sellout.
Is that for lips?
Things the wife made. Wife made handmade necklaces. They were just too short. No, honey, I have not moved. I am still where I have been for the last almost 2 years. Oh, I have a guest.
No, we're in the same spot. Just
anybody, like especially that crew of family he's about to have in about less than a month or whatever. Leave him alone. Let him do his own thing. Stop trying to ruin his life. Don't you think that maybe he was already put in a bad situation? How come all your words before are you're talking opposite now? Like the last 4 years of your talking meant nothing?
So I don't want to be a nitpicker or anything. It's all in how you interpret what it is he's saying. I mean, listen, people want to know anything and everything about the scenario. Contrast that with the sake that they have learned absolutely nothing in 4 years about the actual living arrangements and an environment at all. Nobody's talked. They've given you a BS story. Okay? So when Chris says that he thinks Hunter has all kinds of key details that could crack this case wide open, I agree. If he was more forthcoming and recognized the scenario, I'm sure he could pick his own brain. But from Hunter's perspective, it's got to be a completely different experience. It's not a perfect world. Hunter is probably already influenced and intimidated to a certain degree because he knows that it was an illicit relationship. Not that they were in love or anything like that, but what they were doing was essentially frowned upon and could lead to somebody getting in trouble. What that trouble is to Hunter, he doesn't know. He's not familiar with the law.
Maybe he's trying to stir the
Are
pot.
you bullshitting now, or were you bullshitting then?
Hello.
Oh, stop it, AB. He is a kid. He was 15 years old at the time. He might be a little older now, whatever, but well, it's mostly Mama Bear, but Chris has done his shit. He became cold case so he could work Summer's case
Maybe he should leave children alone.
Well,
Maybe flexing on him.
listen.
We already talked to Hunter. What more does he think Hunter has to say?
He's trying to pull the tactics he pulled with Michael Crow, and I won't allow it.
And I see that too. He wants him to say something that isn't true to benefit the story. Oh God, here we go with more fucking trolls because they can't quit.
I need that thing.
I can't even come up here.
Do you notice how many earrings he has on? Andrew, what's up with all of your earrings, bro? Those are super weird. I think that's your gay ear, bro. Check it out.
Oh God, here we go with
Look at the earrings in his ear.
more fucking trolls because they can't
Oh, Chris McDonough will probably be intimidated with all of those things.
quit.
I need that thing.
Look at the amount. Look at the earrings. What are you doing, bro? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E.
I can't even come up here and talk without having.
Aw, dipshit. Oh, we know who that is.
They're gonna have to get rid of that one.
Get the fuck out of here, you stupid bitch.
I already have them blocked.
One of these days, you guys will get over my name.
Bye.
I know you like it in your fucking mouth, but go to fuck on somewhere.
Easily. It's not what he did, AB. It's not what he did. It's what I won't let him do. Okay?
Well, learn how to spell before you try to say something.
All right, it's not what Chris has done him wrong right now. It's we're gonna stop him from doing him wrong. Okay?
I don't have to be good to him.
So Andrew's putting the kibosh on any sort of attempt for Chris McDonough to talk to Hunter.
I never liked him for one. Just something about him rubbed me the wrong way.
He's trying to say that Allison told him.
He's a cop.
Oh, I don't give a fuck if I'm good or not.
Allison isn't here no more.
And Allison has no control over my son anymore, so she can't flaunt him around for a fucking paycheck.
Exactly.
That's all that is for content.
And here's another thing, other than I'm balding really horribly.
I know.
Here's another thing. McDonough's trying to pull those tactics he pulled on Michael Crow. It's not going to happen.
No, again, the same statement I said earlier still applies. If TBI, which is the actual fucking law, not someone who used to be law, wanted to talk to him, they know where he is.
Dippy,
all these fucking idiots on YouTube, Mama Bear, Act Right, all of them, can go fuck themselves and leave my son alone.
Dippy,
What?
you want to take care of that one?
Oh, the old lady's all wound up now.
I'm looking. I'm trying. It's gone already.
No.
How are they still here?
Back.
Not on my phone, no.
Okay, well, they got you blocked too.
Oh.
Oh, no, Andrew's not just going to
No,
sue.
I can see him on one phone, but I can't see him on the other.
Andrew isn't going to sue. Andrew's going to give the man a chance to
There
shut
they
his
are.
mouth.
Yeah,
And then if the man does
Like
not
you
want to
said,
shut his mouth,
somewhere.
then I'm going to take it to legal. And then when I'm done with legal,
access, so I can't get rid of.
I'm going to make sure he can no longer pose as a PI again either.
There we go.
Okay?
For cold cases.
What he is doing.
What do you mean posed as a PI? The only PI I know is Jim Terry.
Is far beyond illegal.
Okay.
The football star. The arena football star.
Damn, Ericon.
Ain't nothing worse than a smart dumb nigga.
Donnie.
Why, thank you. And again, nobody's going to find my son.
Nope. Quit looking.
His own life, people need to leave him the fuck alone. He was already cleared.
And here's
Leave him alone.
And here's another little secret. Y'all motherfuckers' pockets ain't deep enough.
Yeah, right.
He's got his
see.
own life.
So we'll fast forward a little bit.
Keep getting pissed off because she didn't do shit.
Other than that, he wouldn't have done it at all. Admitted the only reason why he did McDonough was for his mom. Because his mom asked him to. Other than that, he wouldn't have done it at all.
AB, are you missing the point? He's stopping them
Harassment.
Stop.
Yeah, the answer to that is yeah. At that moment in time, I was missing the whole point.
Again.
Intimidation.
He was told to leave him alone. He's still trying. Then he got there making post after post after post after post, trying to get a hold of fucking Hunter, trying to come over here, meet us here now, do this, do that. Hey, Hunter, come over here, talk to us at 5:00. Do this. Hey, Andrew, you know I'm not mad at you.
What's that thing?
Bro, so Andrew, you know I do.
Intimidating, but something else.
And come talk to us.
Intimidation of a witness.
Have you missed those shorts today?
Witness tampering.
Have you missed
Coaching a witness?
Don't come here first when you've missed other things.
Anything else?
Okay, get the tops on them now.
You're good. You're good, Amber. We love you.
420. Oh, wait. You got to wait on that one, I think.
In a lot of states, 18 is old enough for legal consent, but not old enough to be considered an adult.
Lord have mercy. As the trolls roll in.
I am almost done with this damn document.
So, Mr. McDonough, your soft coaching, coaxing words to get my son's attention won't work.
Right.
His name isn't Michael Crow. His name is Hunter Mullaney, and he's smarter than you.
Talking sweet to him now, but you know nobody had to say. Mario, you absolutely have blamed Andrew and Hunter.
Did he just say Hunter was smarter than Chris? And he's a lot smarter than you? Thumb your nose at him. Oh, that's so funny. That's a good one, Andrew. Probably just made that up.
Oh, for being responsible for somewhere else. You've actually blamed me, asking me where the fuck she is. Get off your fucking backpipe and go fucking somewhere else with your conspiracy ass.
No, Diana Lynn is not a troll.
We didn't say names. We just said as they roll in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, Diana Lynn ain't a troll.
Okay, that's cool.
I've seen her around.
All right.
I've seen a lot of them around, but not in here.
Because they're all interested on what's going on. Well, what's going on is that Chris McDonough's dirty little bullshit is screaming right back in his face.
Yeah, that's something between them, you know.
You're a fucking dirty cop. You should not even have the rights to be investigating shit. You're a dirty cop.
Deb, that's none of nobody's business.
Yeah, yes, Ericon, Cheryl Crow and Russell Crowe, I think are his parents. They got what?
Cheryl Crow? Russell Crowe?
No, they.
That's what I said.
Oh yeah, blame. Why didn't you figure out? Like, you're not even blaming suspects at this point. You're blaming victims. Stop fucking victim shaming, victim blaming, and all that shit.
And I hope to God y'all hear me when I say this. You're not gonna find them, and you'll never get to them. As long as I'm still breathing, as long as my wife is still breathing, you ain't never going to get anywhere near my son.
I got this other thing that's going on the chat.
No, it ain't misguided, AB. Trust and believe.
Not at all.
Not this time, buddy.
There's no reason for anybody to be questioning Hunter at this point. He was cleared by law enforcement. Leave the kid alone.
A420, you.
Holy fuck.
I might be able to see it.
I don't know. I can't tell you why McDonough don't do shit other than he's legally not allowed.
These fucking people are obsessed. And at this point, anybody who mentions my name is going to be blamed on you, Rosie, and your daughter, okay? Screenshots. The whole works, baby girl.
No, she legally can't.
I don't have anybody else.
Ain't none of them coming near my son.
No.
Not his wife, not him, not anybody.
Ain't nobody interviewing him. There is no need for anybody to interview Hunter. Period. Leave the boy alone.
He's protected. And you don't want to know what my
Darlene, no, they protect people like Jody Sue. Oh, no, they protect people like Jody Sue and put them on their panel and want to help get them cash apps and all that shit just a couple weeks ago, right?
To do with McDonough and his bullshit tactics and why he's legally not supposed to be investigating any child case. But yet again, he thinks the law doesn't apply to him because he's a dirty cop.
Too classy for you. I already told you no. He's not fighting with Roe.
Oh God! Now for our gardens in here. Oh wow!
Because she was tagged.
My son died. So just like in fucking small.
Hunter has talked. He talked to him 4 years ago. If they want to get in contact with him, they know how to.
Hunter ain't talking to nobody. Period.
No, but
Talking about TBI.
they know how to get in contact with him if they need to speak to him.
That's exactly what I just said.
So Andrew, why are you so protective? Like, why are you so hostile or anti? It's not a perfect yes/no thing. Maybe things come up and they need to ask him a few more questions. Is that okay? I mean, it's not necessarily, like in theory, I mean, not necessarily from Chris, but what about law enforcement in that sense? Not like they're going to ask your permission. They're just going to go and do it. Probably just like Chris did with this Michael Crow. In that Michael Crow scenario, there's a lot more than Chris McDonough that fucked him up. You know, so to be overly judgmental on Chris in that scenario, there's just more to it. You can be.
So for Mama Bear to sit there and say TBI wants to talk, bullshit, bitch, bullshit. You just want information out of Hunter. That's why you tried to have your daughter fucking get it out of it, right?
I have to agree. The boy is basically full of shit. I mean, aren't we all at some point? But at the end of it, dude, it don't matter. He moved on. He started his own life. He's got his own family. He ain't coming to none of you. Hey,
Left the fuck alone.
you know, my name is Andrew, and this is my channel. So go fuck yourself. Again, he ain't talking to nobody.
Baby, now come on now, stop.
The five question.
And Prayer Garden, just so you know, they only spoke to my boy once and only once and let him alone. Unlike anybody else on that hill, they spoke to multiple times. So obviously they ain't got nothing for the boy.
Leave him alone. The boy wants to live his life and wants to be left the fuck alone. Leave him alone.
And you won't find
How many times do they both got to say nothing ever like that was between them two? It was basically a drinking thing and smoking weed.
Yep, slam the door, Bella.
Which is still inappropriate.
He was never a suspect, Prayer Garden. He was a victim.
Exactly. And McDonough's little class act ain't working. So he can go butter up to some fool.
Oh, poor Phoebe.
He can go butter up to some other kid, some other foolish parents. It ain't gonna happen.
If Hunter remembers something, he remembers something. You can't force it out of him. I love you too.
Oh, really, Sharon? Because the last time I checked, I still am his boss till he is 21 or 25, debating on what state you live in.
And not for nothing, Sharon.
Nobody is
ain't gonna talk
normalizing
anyway 'cause he
child
don't want
grooming,
to.
but there
He ain't
was
gonna
none
talk
going
because
on.
unlike most people,
Kathy Morrison, why don't you go worry
Oh.
about Person Cemetery a little bit longer? Isn't that something you got to worry about instead of over here worrying about Hunter? Andrew?
what?
It's not you. That's
You gotta see this clip. Yeah, I found this clip. Here is last night and Chris McDonough talking about Hunter. So let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Oh, look, I'm in the same show as the lab.
About Hunter. He's 19 now. And he's a keeper of secrets. Well, after tonight, they're going to try to get hold of him. And we already know that. I already know that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll hear about it for the next couple of days on the, those who would do harm.
The hell is he even talking about?
And,
is he senile?
But the reality is, at some point, that young man is going to talk and he's going to sing like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. And he's going to tell stories that everybody's going to go, holy cow.
Yeah.
Most people won't even believe him.
And I'm going to do part 2 tomorrow night.
Oh, I can't wait. That's going to be great. I think, so make sure to tune in for that. Have you scheduled it yet?
No, we just finished. Yeah.
Okay, so make...
Oh, what does he have in store, I wonder? What does Chris McDonough have in store? And is it going to trigger Andrew? Well, hopefully whatever it is, it's fantastic. Friends, don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you like this sort of content. Let me know what you guys think about this whole scenario in the comment section below. Peace.